So I think when anyone's looking at where to set up their home and where to plant their roots, they want to make sure that they have a nice, stable community, one where they feel safe and secure, that their home's going to be protected, and that they've got a good community around them that'll help support them as they grow, as their families grow, as their kids grow. And as we look at Fargo and we look at this community of what's really impacting Fargo, West Fargo, the Moorhead area, we know that one of the biggest threats that we have and one of the biggest concerns is that annual spring flooding. It impacts our region constantly. You know, I've been a real estate broker for the last 10 years, and so whenever people are looking, they're always asking if it's a good market, if it's a good time to buy. What we have to recognize is that the threat of flooding is real. That's impacting everyone who's going out and buying a home. They have to check the flood map, see where they're going to be. That's a concern for everyone. In my legislative district, that's 82% of my constituents are in the flood zone. They're in the flood map, and they'd be required to have flood insurance. And the money that they have to spend on a flood insurance premium is money that they can no longer afford for the house of their dreams. That takes away their purchasing power. So when we're talking community-wide, that we're at risk of losing $50 million a year in flood insurance premiums, just vanishing out of our market. You know, that's money that families could be spending, you know, providing for themselves and their kids. That's money they could be investing into our market, into our retail shops, into our restaurants, going out to our entertainment venues. I mean, that's vital to our economy. We're asking the state to come forward with a commitment that we haven't seen for flood control projects in the state of North Dakota before. This is a huge commitment, no doubt, no question about it. But we're protecting $20 billion worth of property valuation in Cass County. Within the flood protection area, we have 25% of our state's GDP. 20% of our state's population is being impacted by this. So if we want to talk economic realities for our community, not just locally, but for our state as a whole, we know that ensuring that we don't lose this money and having it vanish from the market in the form of premiums that the federal government's charging us is vital to ensuring that our economy is able to continue to grow and prosper. It's been good so far in the Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo community. We've had good growth. Having permanent protection is vital to ensuring that that growth is able to continue. So in 2009, I was a senior at Concordia College. And for those that remember the flood in 2009, you know, we had these sandbags built, we had the levees and the flood walls built, and then all of a sudden, the map changed again. We had an additional melt, additional projections. So in communities like over in Rose Creek, we had to go back in, and now we had to add 2 feet onto these flood walls that we thought were already built. We had that blizzard that came right at the end, and so we're out there having to, you know, beat the sandbags with baseball bats, trying to break these up so we can lay them down to make sure that the homes are protected, because otherwise, you know, all of their belongings, everything they had was at risk. Our community's invested heavily to try to stop that reliance on our high school and college age kids, but we need to know that we don't have to have that as our backstop going forward, and permanent protection will help us do that.